is PNF. PNF is an advanced flexibility training method combining muscle stretching and contraction using functional diagonal movement pattern with neuromuscular facilitation techniques to enhance motor response and neuromuscular control.
There are two techniques of PNF, which is strengthening and also stretching. PNF is a stretching technique that allows to increase ROM and flexibility. It also will improve muscle strength, improve coordination, and increase muscle strength.
So I will show you the pattern of PNF. First, I will show the D1 pattern for upper limb. Okay, buka tangan, buka. Okay, naik, turun, tutup. Oh, okay. Okay, next is D2 pattern for upper limb. Okay, nanti saya bagi stretch, lepas tu buka tangan, buka. Saya bagi asisten. Saya buka tangan. Okay, naik. Stop. Next is D1 pattern for lower limb. Okay. Nanti kaki saya bawa gini. Lepas saya bagi stretch. Lepas nanti lawan. Angkat. Lepas turun. Macam ni. Okay, lawan. Tolak. Angkat, tolak. Okay, last is D2 pattern for lower limb. Okay, nanti kaki bend, bonsai tahan, nanti buka, terus keluar. Okay, lawan, tolak. Keluar. Alright. Okay, for rhythmic initiation consists of passive movement, active assistant, and active movement of agonist pattern. So that I will do the flexion of elbow passively, and then second I will ask the patient to complete the ROM and assist her to complete the ROM. Lastly, I will ask the patient to do it herself. Okay, so first I have to give passive movement, and then assist resistant, active assistant, and then she have to do herself. Okay, that's for rhythmic initiation.
The second technique in the PNF strengthening technique is the repeated contraction. So this technique is used for the muscle or muscle group weakness, and this can be done by first, the patient needs to move isotonically against the maximum resistance until he or she reach the fatigue. So, once the fatigue is felt, the stretch is applied to the muscle to facilitate greater strength production, and make sure the resistance given is not overcome the patient's ability. So, first, bend elbow. Expand satu. Then give the stretch. That's how the repeated contraction is done.
Okay, for slow reversal is contraction of strong muscle is antagonist pattern. It's used to facilitate contraction of weaker muscle of agonist groups. So patients have to move through complex range of motion against maximum resistance. The resistance is applied to both the antagonist and agonist muscle groups to ensure smooth and rhythmic movement. Okay, action. You have to push my finger. Okay, push. Relax. Okay. That's for slow reversal.
So next technique in the PNF strengthening is the slow reversal hold technique. So this technique is be done after the isotonic contraction of the agonist. So for the example, the patient do the isotonic contraction of the bicep, which is the agonist in the circulation, and the antagonist is the tricep. And then do the resisted isometric contraction at the completion of range, which is at the end of the isotonic contraction. So first, do the isotonic contraction of the bicep first. So 1, 2, 3. Then do the isometric contraction of the antagonist, which is the tricep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the benefit for this technique is for allow the patient to develop strength at a specific point in the ROM. And the last technique in the PNF strengthening is the rhythmic stabilization, which involve isometric contraction for both agonist and antagonist. Which in this situation, the agonist is the bicep and the antagonist is the tricep. So first, do the isometric contraction of the agonist first, followed by the isometric contraction of the tricep. So for example, do the isometric for the bicep first, isometric, then isometric for the tricep. So this technique is the function for this technique is for promote the strengthening of the muscle.
Okay, then I want to explain about hold relax and contract relax of PNF stretching technique. So first is hold relax. Hold relax is when patient's restricted muscle is put in a position of stretch. So I have to give isometric contraction of the restricted muscle and have to hold 10 seconds. And then patient have to relax muscle after sustained contraction has been applied to it for longer than 6 seconds. And then the restricted muscle need to be passively moved to a position of greater stretch. And then I need to take isometric contraction. Okay, contracts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. Okay. And then I need to stretch. Okay, that for hold relax. Okay, the second is contract relax. That passive placement of the restricted muscle into a position of the stretch. Then followed by an isotonic contraction of the restricted muscle. The tight muscle is relaxed and allowed to lengthen. the restricted muscle that was just contract and activate the opposing muscle to move the limb into greater position of stretch. Okay. To give isotonic contraction, then we have to contract. Okay. Good. Then relax. Then I want to give you a stretch. Okay, that's for contract relax. Next, I will do the slow reversal hold relax technique. First, I will ask the patient to do isotonic contraction to contract the antagonist muscle, which is bicep. And then I will ask the patient to do isometric contraction to contract antagonist muscle. And I will ask the patient to relax before I give the stretch to contract the antagonist muscle. The patient, I will give resistance. Tangan. Okay, stop. Relax.
So now I will do agonist contraction to this patient. Agonist contraction is one of stretching PNF technique. So when I bending the elbow, the agonist is bicep, which is also automatically will stretch the triceps. So agonist contraction can be done by two, which is isotonic, also isometric. So now I will do isotonic and strike the antagonist in the end. So now I will give some resistance to this patient on wrist and ask the patient to push, to bend. Bend. Okay. Just imagine this patient has limitation to bending the elbow because of this patient having shorten of tricep. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is ask the patient to relax. Relax. Once patient relax, I will push. I will stretch the tricep to lengthening back her tricep. So this is how agonist contraction is done. The next technique in the PNF stretching is the hold relax with agonist contraction. So in this situation, the agonist is the biceps and the antagonist is the triceps. So first, the patient's restricted muscle is put in a position of stretch, and then the isometric contraction of the antagonist is given before, and then I will ask the patient to relax before apply the stretch for the antagonist. And then I will ask the patient to do the agonist contraction, which I will do the isotonic contraction, but it can be done at the isometric or isotonic contraction. First, put in a position of stretch. So example, this is the limitation for this patient, and then I will ask her to do the isometric contraction of the restricted muscle. So contract 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then ask her to relax. Then give a stretch, and then ask her to do the isotonic contraction of the agonist. So, right, agonist contraction. And then put the position in the starting point. So that is how the hold relax with agonist contraction is done. Last but not least is the contract relax with agonist contraction, which is one of the technique in the PNF stretching technique. So first, the patient restricted muscle, which is the antagonist, in this situation is the tricep, will be put in the position of stretch, and then I will ask her to do the isotonic contraction of the tricep. And then I will ask her to relax before I give the stretch to the antagonist. And then last, I will ask her to the isotonic contraction of the agonist. So yes, so passively move to the position of stretch. So for example, this is the limitation that she have, and then I will ask her to do isotonic contraction of the tricep. So straight can go. And then ask her to relax. Then I give a little bit stretch. And then ask her to do the agonist contraction, which I will ask her to do the isotonic contraction. Bend. So that is how the contract relax with agonist contraction is done.